All right, let's just jump right into this explainer because today we're uncovering exactly how excess sugar messes with our bodies. We all know too much of the sweet stuff is bad news, but the pharmacy data we're looking at today, it goes way beyond the obvious. We're going to expose the hidden traps in our daily diets and break down 11 very specific ways sugar is silently taking a toll on our overall health. So, to kick things off, is your ketchup secretly a dessert? I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. When we hear the word sugar, we instantly picture a slice of chocolate cake or a giant cookie. But what about the savory stuff we eat literally every single day? The reality is, food manufacturers pump our basic pantry staples full of added sugar just to boost the flavor and keep things on the shelf longer. Honestly, if you aren't checking labels, your savory turkey sandwich could be hitting your bloodstream just like a slice of birthday cake. And that means we're probably consuming massive amounts of sugar without even knowing it. Because the food industry is, well, they're sneaky. They don't always just slap the word sugar on the ingredient list. They use all these clever little disguises. You'll see things like agave nectar, high fructose corn syrup, maltose, dextrose. Because of this labeling trickery, a lot of us are unknowingly overloading our systems from the second we have our morning toast right up to that dollop of ketchup at dinner. Now, the source material we're digging into details exactly 11 distinct ways this hidden sugar surplus wreaks havoc on our health. It's a massive list, so to make it really easy to digest, we've grouped these 11 harms into 3 main areas of impact. Starting with part 1, the mirror. This explores how excess sugar consumption visibly affects your appearance, your teeth, and your joints. Basically, sugar triggers surface-level inflammation in 3 big ways. First up, acne. A high sugar intake causes your blood sugar and insulin to spike, which ramps up oil production and hormones that practically guarantee breakouts. Number 2, cavities. I mean, we've known this since we were kids, right? Sugar feeds the bad bacteria in your mouth, and they secrete acids that literally eat away at your tooth enamel. And third, joint pain. If your joints are constantly aching, sugar might actually be the culprit here, since research clearly links high sugar diets to inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. But here's a really wild part. Sugar actually accelerates premature aging. It causes wrinkles and sagging skin by forming these nasty little things called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. Think of collagen and elastin as the biological scaffolding that keeps your skin looking firm and bouncy. When excess sugar bumps into these proteins in your body, it creates these AGEs, which basically tear that scaffolding down. The result? Your skin loses its elasticity and ages way faster than it naturally should. Moving right along to part 2, the mind. Let's look at how sugar manipulates your brain chemistry, your mood, and your daily energy levels. Sugar essentially hijacks your brain chemistry. The second you eat a sugary snack, your brain releases dopamine. You know, that feel-good chemical? It's a quick rush of pleasure. But the moment it wears off, your brain demands more, trapping you in this really vicious dopamine loop. And what's super concerning about the research here is that this endless cycle of spiking and crashing brain chemicals is strongly linked to a higher risk of depression in adults. So it's not just a harmless craving, it is actively messing with your mental well-being. And obviously, that ties directly into our physical energy. We have all felt that brutal mid-afternoon slump, right? You grab a sweet coffee, you get this massive temporary jolt of energy as your blood sugar and insulin rapidly spike. But what goes up has to come down. That spike is followed by a brutal crash that leaves you drained, irritable, and just staring blankly at your screen, unable to concentrate. Sugar drains your overall vitality by forcing your body onto this exhausting energy roller coaster. Finally, part 3, the internal engine. This covers the severe, long-term systemic diseases caused by chronic sugar overconsumption. We're talking weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and fatty liver disease. The common thread connecting all these life-threatening conditions is the systemic inflammation and internal fat buildup caused by too much sugar. For instance, sugar drives up your triglycerides and blood pressure, leading to fat buildup in your arteries, which is a massive trigger for heart disease. It is a silent domino effect happening deep inside your body. To understand how that domino effect actually works, we really have to talk about insulin. The source explicitly links the obesity caused by things like sugary sodas and fruit juices straight to a dangerous condition called insulin resistance. When your blood is constantly flooded with sugar, your body has to pump out more and more insulin just to deal with it. Eventually, your cells just stop listening. They become resistant. And this right here is the primary gateway to developing type 2 diabetes. And the collateral damage hits your liver hard too. The research states it pretty plainly. Excess sugar intake, particularly from sources like fructose, can lead to the liver converting the surplus into fat. So think of your liver like a highly efficient storage unit. When you consume sugar, especially fructose from processed foods and sweetened drinks, your liver breaks it down for energy. But when you force it to process a huge surplus, it literally starts packing the extra away as fat. Over time, that organ fat builds up and leads directly to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And perhaps the most sobering takeaway on this entire list is the link to cancer. The internal environment that a high sugar diet creates, which is one of chronic inflammation and rapid cell multiplication, is the exact environment where abnormal, dangerous cells thrive. Research is increasingly pointing to the sugar-induced inflammation as a major contributing factor to the rising rates of cancer we're seeing all over the world. Okay, let's all take a deep breath. We've covered the harsh realities, but I promise it's not all doom and gloom. Now that we know about these 11 harms, let's pivot to some highly practical, everyday solutions from PharmEasy to help break this cycle. You can absolutely take back control of your diet without giving up flavor or enjoyment. Making smart swaps is absolutely the best place to start. So instead of grabbing that commercially flavored yogurt, which by the way often has just as much sugar as a bowl of ice cream, swap it for plain yogurt and naturally sweeten it yourself with some fresh or frozen berries. And instead of reaching for a sugary soda or an energy drink, try unsweetened seltzer water. You still get that nice carbonated bite and refreshment, but with literally zero blood sugar spikes. The exact same logic applies to your morning routine. A lot of us rely on ready-made sweet spreads, jams, or chocolate pastes on our toast. But simply swapping out those highly processed spreads for a natural nut butter will drastically drop your morning sugar load. Plus, you're trading empty sugar calories for healthy fats and proteins that will actually keep your energy steady all morning long. And to keep you on track, here's a super simple 3-step roadmap to help you avoid those packaged traps. First, cook at home as much as you can using whole ingredients. That way, you dictate exactly what goes in the pan. Second, become a label reader. Aim for cereals and snacks that have under 4 grams of sugar per serving. And third, use the power of natural flavors. A squeeze of lemon, a sprig of fresh mint, or a little orange zest can make a meal or drink taste incredible without a single grain of added sugar. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a vital question to think about. What hidden sugar are you going to cut out of your routine today? Are you going to swap your soda for seltzer? Maybe actually check the label on your ketchup? I challenge you to take just one small, actionable step right now toward protecting your body and your mind. Because every small adjustment is a defense against those 11 hidden harms. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.